from my guy. Double salute to him, Gregory Quarterbaum. Greg says, greeting, Manager Marty, the Roller Tape film crew or family, and Mr. Conti. Mr. Conti, did you contact Bud Crawford or did Bud Crawford contact you? And when did you actually start working with him? And what was it he needed to improve? So let's break this down in increments. Did you contact Bud or did Bud Crawford contact you?
Okay, as I said earlier, you have these companies out there that for every single fight, I don't know who contracts them, but they go around when they find sponsors and they say, would you like to sponsor this guy? Would you like to sponsor this guy? Would you like to sponsor this guy? Here's how much it's going to cost. I don't know who it was, but somebody that was representing Terence contacted my office, okay, and wanted some ridiculous amount of money, $50,000 or something crazy for endorsement. I said no. Thereafter, at some point, Terence called, and I talked with Terence, aside from this guy. And then Terence, on his own, he basically said, this is Terence, and you don't have to sell me on anything. I already know what you do. I've been following you, and I'd like to work with you, blah, blah, blah. And so we had a brief talk. Then he called Demetrius Andrade. He didn't tell me he was going to do that. And Demetrius said, trust me, you want to be with this guy. He will help you in many, many ways. Whatever Demetrius said, he vouched for me. And then Terence called back and said, I'm in. I want to be with you and Smack. All right. So the first step, as we've always talked about, is let's get your blood testing. Because if all I am is a sponsor, and I'm just sending you a fighter training stack that's generic for anybody and everybody, and you're wearing a patch, but I've never talked to you or I've never tested your blood, I don't consider that me working with you, and it's a real working relationship. But the instant that you give me all that data on your blood, and I can now interpret that and make specific recommendations and prompt you to have great compliance if you want to get some results. Now we're working together. Make sense? Yep. So that happened initially. I guess the first time was before the Porter fight. I said, but there's a bit of a conflict here. I would have to get the approval of Sean and Ken. So before I can commit and say, yes, I will help you in this fight, let me go to them. And I did, as I told you earlier. And then Sean said, let me talk to my dad. And he came back and said, we're good with it, because they're friendly. They've known each other since the amateurs many, many years. They're warriors when they go in the ring, but they're friendly. And then I went back to Terence and I said, they said they're good with it. And the only thing Terence said was, let the best man win. Tell me what to do. How do I get my blood drawn? How do I work with you?
Did y'all hear that? It was a lot of words being said. Did y'all hear the audio in that? I'm going to let y'all process the payment for a second. Did y'all hear that? I just want to make sure we all was on the same page. That's all. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. That's what Victor Conti told me to my face. He was here live in living color, December of 2023. And then a week later, in January of 2024. Did y'all hear what he said? He said Demetrius Andrade told Terence Crawford, trust me, you want to be with this guy. He said that Bud Crawford told him, this is Terence. You don't have to sell me on anything. I know what it is that you do. He just said, even though he's the owner of the program, there's a conflict of interest. He would first have to call Sean Porter and Kenny Porter and get the clearance from them, get the approval from them, get the permission from them if they would be willing to fight Terence Crawford while Terence Crawford was receiving the same stuff that he was giving them. Terence Crawford said, I want in. And guess what else Terence Crawford said? According to Victor Conti, Terence Crawford said, may the best man win. I'm still trying to figure out, what did he mean by that? Okay, whoa. You mean to tell me, so Sean Porter is with Victor Conti in the snack program. Victor Conti agreed that Terence Crawford, who wanted in, who called him for it, to allow him to be on the program. Terence Crawford said, according to Victor Conti, let the best man win. Let the best man on what? Win. Huh? Hey, Aaron Muhammad, I'm just asking a question. What did he mean by that? Lucky McKinnell's, what did he mean by that? Josh Sanders, I'm just asking. P. Flame, all things Miss Barbara D. Flyer frequency. I know you're a Bud fan. I just want to ask the question. Jab Queen Boxing, I just want to know, because I dropped out of college and I'm slow. What did Terence Crawford mean when he said, may the best man win? I'm just saying, because I was at Terence Crawford and Errol Spence weigh-in. I was there watching live. I was there in person in Vegas. I didn't hear Terence Crawford tell Errol Spence, may the best man. I watched all the press conferences leading up to the fight between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. I didn't hear Terence Crawford tell Errol Spence, may the best man win. I just try to figure out, what did he mean by that? That's all I wanted. I don't ask hard questions. I ask easy questions. You see what I'm saying? I ask easy questions. Like an easy question I've been asking for 2.5 years now. What did they go over there for? I'm trying to figure out, what did Bud Crawford call Victor Conti for?